Now, I know that you have trained some of your staff, and recently you committed actually to train more of your staff. What does this mean, the training in diagnostics and the involvement of the practice and the staff members in diagnostics? What does it mean for your staff members, and how do you use this tool to excite staff members, to create a momentum in the practice, or even, I would say, sustainability of staff?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, being in rural Idaho, and I don't know how many people listening out there today or in the future know what this looks like, but we're stuck halfway between in Salt Lake City, which is a very big city, all the way to the north, which is basically takes us all the way to Yellowstone Park. So in the past, we've really tried to capitalize on that, Dimi, and trying to attract and retain physical therapists and good physical therapists to our practice by saying, hey, look, you can mountain bike here all summer long, spring, it's phenomenal. You can ski. We've got some of the best ski and snow to ski on in the winter, and you can do all these things, which is really natural to Idaho. But you really don't have a big city feel here. In fact, a lot of our practitioners in the past that have been attracted and stayed are people that have family here. And for a growing practice, that stunts our growth. That's not a great plan. So what we've seen as we've started the diagnostics is the easiest way is to give the therapist what they want. In other words, some therapists out there, they probably graduate from PT school. They don't want to crack a book again. They don't really want to learn and grow. They're going to do the same home exercise program with the same low back patients forever to the end of time. We're not interested in that PT. So in our practice from day one, even when we're interviewing, we introduce them to our practice by introducing diagnostics. I usually will do an ultrasound or a portion of an EMG on every single new hire potential that comes in on interview. And their response has been phenomenal. Both as they will, in fact, we had just one just the other day. I won't put his name out there, but he had interviewed with several other practices from a local university, and we needed a hire. We needed a guy that was really bought in, and he was being offered more money at a different practice with perhaps some better benefits, and he chose us associated with the opportunity to come and do diagnostics. And really, they grab onto ultrasound because ultrasound really is netter in grayscale. If I can visualize what's underneath that shoulder and that long head of biceps and what I think that should look like, and that supraspinatus and infraspinatus, and what kind of spacing and arrangement, and I can visualize that in netter for that new grad or even that long-term PT that has a lot of experience, and then turn it around and put it in grayscale, all of a sudden it's like this light bulb goes on. One of our most recent trainees, I should tell you this, you'd be thrilled, Dimi, John Goodman. He went out just 1 month ago, maybe 5 weeks ago, out to New York to do a training in ultrasound. We had done some pre-training. We do that now because Andy Good and I are good at doing some of these things, and we want to integrate it with our staff as much as possible. Sure. So John had some experience with it, went out to New York, came back, and he has averaged 7 to 8 ultrasounds per week since he's come back. That's awesome. And he just identifies, yeah, it's been awesome. He just identifies with his patients, those new patients or the patients that are not making progress, that he needs to know that we didn't do enough up front to know what we were doing. And sometimes we're still guilty of that. But often the standard of care in our practice for new and old is we use diagnostics from day one to know which way to go. And the buy-in has been great. And the longevity, of course, in this gives us a 5-year contract with these guys that I think is helpful for us in a big way.
Yeah, and even from a financial point of view, if you think that, okay, 7, 8 of these ultrasounds, they're going to take per week, they're going to take, let's say, I don't know, maybe 4 hours for the week for them to be done. And at the end of the day, for the month, they're going to yield somewhere in the neighborhood of $5,000, $6,000.